Alright, hey everybody, Bratboy90. I am bringing you what I would consider a review of Watchdogs. I'm going to try to cover a lot of stuff here. And, the game just came out and we really didn't have any reviews. And I'm going to go through everything that I can think of. And we'll see what you think. So, this is when you press square, you bring out your phone, and you have these little lines you can see that kind of show you things around you. And you can go into them by holding square, and then you could hack someone and stuff, jump to other stuff. So you could jump camera to camera to camera until you're not even to a place where you could see yourself. You could. So it's pretty cool. As you can see there was that far camera. Then there's this person's, I hacked their phone because it said I could. But you can't do that to everyone. Like this person, I can't do anything. And the game does really good at making you feel like the city is alive, that everyone is their own person. And as you can see, everyone has their own little bio and how much they make and such. So I kind of just brought you to an area where, nothing's going on, so I could go over a couple things. So that's how the square and hacking works. There's different things you can do with different things. Like you can blow up steam pipes. You've all seen the videos. And it gets farther and farther to do more things as you progress in the game and unlock what's called skill points. So we'll bring up your smartphone. You press up on the D-pad for this. And there's a lot of things you can do. I have disabled the music, but I'll show you what it is in there. So you have your progression, which shows your progression throughout the game and throughout everything. Mini games, main missions, side missions, investigations, online games, everything. So then if you press R1, you can go to your skills, and these are what you unlock. And I'm not very far through the game, but you can see I've unlocked a good amount. But as you get to those farther out trees, it becomes more and more. So to give you an example, this one increases your weapon switch speed, rate of fire with semi-auto pistols, and I don't have any skill points, so I can't buy it. But if it's red, you can buy it. If it's red, you could buy it if you had the skill points. If it's black, you can't buy it, even if you had enough skill points. And if it were white, it's just white, and the red isn't there, essentially. That means you can buy it, but you have to use your skill points to buy it. But you do have enough. If you press triangle, you go into your notoriety skills. So these are different things. Kind of goes through. You just have to keep doing notoriety type things. Your statistics, how your reputation is, your experience in the game, and you can go up to level 50, as you can see. And the CTOS towers, it's good to hack these towers because they give you more options in areas. If you go to an area where you don't have the CTOS towers unlocked, you actually can't access the cameras, can't blow up steam pipes because you haven't hacked the system there. So we'll get out of this menu. Then I'll bring you over to that was the skills tree. So then you have this like a field guide. So this is kind of like an in-game guide. So you don't have to actually buy a guide, kind of, if that makes sense. So it shows you can learn what things are, and it gives you a little overview, because there really are a lot of things in this game, and remembering what each one is very difficult. So it's very good they put that in there. You can go into your online contracts here. There are different game modes. There's online trailing, of which you have to follow someone and pretty much just stay within a certain distance of them while hacking. There's the online free roam. Haven't tried that yet. There's the online decryption, which was the one that we had the video of, the 4 versus 4. It doesn't work how I had liked, in all honesty, but it's something. I think the main game is a lot better than the online so far. The online hacking is you hacking someone else's phone. You also have to stay within a certain distance. The online hacking and the online trailing honestly seem about the same to me. There's the online race. I've done this. There's no shooting in driving a car in this game. It's not like Grand Theft Auto where you can shoot. It creates a weird balance issue kind of in spots, but I found those balance issues in the online decryption. I mean, you have to ram someone off the road and then get out of your vehicle, which takes time, and then shoot at them, and by the time that's happened, you probably didn't kill them, and you'll have to get back in your car. There's the CTOS mobile challenge. The mobile challenge is something you use your phone. Actually, you can go look up Watchdogs companion app, and you can bring up your phone, and you can actually challenge people from your phone. You can make challenges, and then if people are on their console and do the CTOS, if someone else is on their phone, it'll match you up, and then they are the cops, and it's cool. It's actually very cool. It's really hard to get into a match for it, I've found, from my phone. I got into one match after like 10 minutes. You can view the leaderboards and stuff. Your car on demand is actually, you can buy cars and then just ask for them to be delivered. So I'll show you how that works. The motorcycles, in all honesty, are super overpowered in this game. And except for online, of course, where you could be shot easily as someone drives by since you have no cover. So I'll jump out, and you'll see there's a little triangle that came up over here. And we'll run towards it. It generally doesn't put... it doesn't put it right next to you, which is kind of annoying. But at least it got delivered near you. I think this is my ride, at least. I could totally be wrong. So this is either... There's a lot of symbols. It all gets really confusing, to be honest. If this isn't the vehicle, I'm just not going to do it. But there's a lot of things to do, and as you see, if you're walking around, like this person's blue, it says they have a bank account, and you don't actually get negative rep for doing this. You can just take their money. So yeah, I took their money. This person just says hack, so it'll be some sort of conversation. And then you can skip the conversation if you're bored. So, over here, this is either someone that I'm supposed to... Yeah, it is. Yeah, oh well. This is one of the crime probabilities, which we can go ahead and do it. And your cover system is actually X. It's very intuitive and very simple to use, and I actually really like it. We're gonna have to follow this guy for a little bit. Oh, without freaking him out. Nope, I freaked him out. Oh well. It's kind of hard. You have to move to the right location. And again, I just hacked someone. And this is a steam pipe. We can blow that up. And this actually stays open for quite a while. Oh shoot, they wanted me to just shoot him? Alright. Alright, he's dead. So, another thing... don't call the cops, please. Please don't call the cops. No, you're gonna get shot if I can't get there in time.
Can you repeat that?
Kill it.
Hello?
Now.
Alright, so you can stop people from making phone calls, but it doesn't mean that more people won't make a phone call. I'm going to go somewhere a little bit more secluded so I can show you the weapon system and how that kind of operates. And people will probably call the cops on me anyhow. So the weapon system, and I'll show you that, that's burst. Kinda, if there's enemies there, they fall down and such. So the weapon system is completely ridiculous. I don't know how else to explain it than ridiculous. So I can switch to, you have your pistol, you have grenade launchers, and shotguns, and the assault rifles. That's pretty much your four main categories. And then these little things are, one's focus boost, which if you press R3, it brings you into like this slow-mo, you can shoot everyone, you're God type mode. Which is pretty cool. And you can boost your focus, gosh dang it. You can boost your focus by using those pills if you've ran out of it, because otherwise you have to go to sleep. So if we pop the menu back up, oop, wrong button, L1, you hold L1, brings open your menu, and you can carry like 15 different pistols. These are all the pistols I have so far. You can pick any one, and your guy's always carrying it. So it's a little ridiculous. Along with assault rifles, I'm carrying all these. I have 3 so far. Assault rifles, I can carry all these. Sniper rifles, and grenade launcher. This is ridiculous. You can carry essentially 50 weapons on you at once, which is completely ludicrous, but I think it's pretty cool. Because it's fun to have that kind of variety in a game. So now that we have, we've covered the weapon setup and how that works, you press L1 to pull a gun out and put it away. You'll see, he pulls it out, puts it away, and people do freak out if you're just carrying a gun. So they'll call the cops and such, and it gets annoying because you'll forget you're carrying a weapon. Now when you've hacked someone, you can go to an ATM. They're in ludicrous places. Like, why would there ever be an ATM at the corner outside of this building? Yeah, I don't think you'd ever leave an ATM like this kind of brand model. Like, these aren't waterproof, whatever. So you can hack the ATM and take out all the money you have. Another ludicrous thing, you'll see how much money I take out of here. I just took $12,220 out of an ATM. Most ATMs don't carry more than $10,000 at the most in them, especially one that's outside like that. So, take what you will from that. Now, if you steal someone's car like this, like I'm like, oh, okay, I like your SUV. They might call the cops on you. Kind of annoying, and then they do a CTOS scan for you. Yeah, she's calling the cops. So I could get out and stop her, but I'm gonna let this happen. So you can see how the driving is and how cops react.
We need help out here, please.
So you'll see there's the nice little blur effect for Steam, so online races when you activate that. Now look at the mini-map at the bottom right. It says there's a CTOS scan completing, and you'll see the percentage. Now once it hits 100%, the cops are going to know where I am and come after me. So now this cop cars are coming after me, which is perfectly fine. I kind of wanted to show you.
A patrol car's been dispatched.
So you can see him on the way, and we're going to drive over this and throw the spikes up. See if he drives over it. Nope, he decided not to. But there's one in front of me. So you can activate all these certain little things to try to get away from the police, and you don't even have to be looking at it. Like right there, I just held square as I drove by it, and it sets it off. It kind of gets confusing. There's a lot of things going on. There's so many buttons and things you can press, but you'll see I've pressed a bunch now, and at the bottom left of your screen, you'll see the battery indicator, of which your battery regens slowly on its own magically, but you can only use it, you know, like let's say it takes 20 seconds to redo its own thing. So you have to wait 20 seconds before you can unlock another. And certain things cost more battery points than others. You can expand your battery retention, like how many bars you have. I just haven't gotten there yet. I'm pretty early in the game, as you saw, 9% completed. And let's cover the driving now, and you'll kind of see how I'm there. That was one of those blocks that brings in the slow-mo and you mess the cop up. I'll probably escape here, which is good, because cops are annoying. The driving physics and characteristics, I'll say every vehicle feels different, which is great, because I get tired of cars feeling the exact dang same every time you get in it. So if you get into a new car, you'll see this one, you know, it accelerated faster, it handles different. It really does. It handles different. I'm not going to say better, because the handling in this game is completely weird. So drifting is kind of a thing you have to start to get used to if you're not very used to drifting. But the cars tend to oversteer a lot, and it gets really annoying because I'll try to show you right here. So I'm really good at driving games, but if you keep going left, right, you see how it kind of seems delayed, and I can't explain it. If I were to say that the game has a 2 millisecond delay from your controller input to the actual car turning, that would probably be right. And coupled with that, let's say, you know, everything oversteers. Like the sensitivity is too high in the cars. I would say that. That would make perfect sense. But every vehicle does have its own difference, and you start to learn that shorter wheelbase cars are a lot easier to handle than longer wheelbase cars. And I kind of agree with that, but it just does get old to have to deal with that over and over. And right there I took the cop out because I caused the traffic to go forward, and then he slammed into him. So now let's cover when we get out of a car, we have our weapons and damage models. So you guys saw me, I bumped a lot of things with the car, but there's like no damage. It takes a lot of hurting. You have to like slam into things to make any damage appear. Other than when you're shooting bullets, and things will blow up, and the game looks pretty. It really does, actually. Oh my gosh. Alright. So yeah, it's actually super easy to die, which is great. If you kill police officers, you'll see at the top right there it said police officer homicide. You kill police officers, you kill people, you kill anything. I mean, if you do anything that could be taken as negative to civilization, essentially the game counts that as a negative thing, and that goes towards your rep, kind of. Now, another weird thing is you rarely see... Oh, I wanted that car. You rarely see cop cars actually out in the open. Like, they don't just patrol the streets. They just only show up when they need to. And obviously that officer doesn't care that I just took his car. Like I said, there's just... The game isn't perfectly polished. I can't... I don't know how to say it, but it's a good game. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It's definitely worth buying. it does a next-gen idea of all this interconnected city all operating at once. You know, it's a crazy idea, and I do like it, and the campaign so far is really good. But I'd like to cover something that really annoys me, and that is the windows. So you naturally have reflections of things. So when we look in the reflection here, it looks like there's some skyscrapers behind us. Yeah. It's just one big building right in front of us. Now that building right there above my character's head looks right, but that's over there. So that reflection would actually mean that it's over there. So the game doesn't even reflect the right things. It's not even caring. Like look at the ground here. See how it looks like there's some paper boxes, you know, where you could get a newspaper above my character's head? There's none over there. There's cars in the street. The game doesn't even notice the cars. It acts like nothing exists. So the reflections are all made up. They're completely fake. Now the lighting is really good from the sun. You'll see character reflections are okay, you know, stuff like that, and the game does look good. But that's about where it stops, because when you get lighting from artificial things, which I'm not going to be able to show you because it's not nighttime, the artificial lighting doesn't... If you have headlights on, it doesn't actually, like, create a shadow. Your character could be standing in front of a car with lights on, and your character lights up properly, but the ground behind him doesn't shadow. It just stays fully lit like nothing's there. And it's just like those little things all add up and make the game unpolished, you know? Make it seem like it could have been as good as GTA 5 on steroids, but it's not. Now this is an instance where I'm now in an area where I obviously don't have the CTOS tower, and you can go into these areas without really knowing. So I can't profile anyone, I can't do anything, I can't hack anything, because I've crossed a boundary. That boundary must have been like 10 feet this way because I was able to do it here.
Nice, just nice.
But the game's good. It's just got a lot of unpolished things, and they definitely, if they were to have a Watchdogs 2, I'm sure Ubisoft would now have enough time to invest to polish up all the little odds and ends. But I think they did such a big idea that they just can't catch up with it. You know, they could not do everything and make it all perfect. Because GTA 5, everything in GTA 5 seems like it could stand alone on its own weight. But in this game, everything can't stand alone on its own weight. The driving isn't great. The shooting mechanisms aren't great. None of it could really stand perfectly on its own. But as a whole, it makes it a game. Now let me go down into, you have what's called fixer contracts, of which you're the driver and you have to get someone somewhere. And there's all these little games like digital trips and stuff like that. I don't really want to get into that. Now, Song Sneak is you can essentially hack people for songs. So you get the song, so then you add it to your library. Audio logs are a thing you've picked up. Let's say in areas where there's missions and stuff, you can pick up these audio logs and listen to them. Every other game kind of does that. And then you have your media app. Your media app's really actually great. Your media app allows you to adjust all the songs in the game and add and remove ones. You'll see if it is with a blue box on the right, I then am using that song. So all of these songs you can add and remove. Now on top of that, there's the, you can go by soul, hip-hop. I don't care for soul, so I've removed all those. Hip-hop, it's okay. I mean, day and night, they considered hip-hop, I mean. So there's some things, I wouldn't say their names are exactly perfect, so you should go through them, but the generals are good, and you can add and remove each song as you'd like. For example, some of these songs in here are pretty much dubstep, but they consider them electronica, which is fine. And then you can stop, you can skip a song, as you can see here. You can stop and skip songs, you can repeat songs, and you can create your own playlist, which is great. Now there's shops around the whole location, and I'm betting I'm not near one. But you can buy your character outfits, you can buy guns, you can do a lot of things. The outfits are pretty boring and bland. There's not much more than your cool trench coat that makes you look like a complete Unabomber. Now you see I ran someone over, and right then it didn't say civilian killed, which means I actually didn't kill them or injure them, but she totally got ran over by this SUV. And people don't really freak out when you're driving like a maniac like that. Like I'm just plowing through the city, destroying stuff, and nobody calls the cops. Everyone's like, oh yeah, normal town. So here's what I'll show you is the where you can get stuff. Now you can turn the music on here. I mean, there's stuff like that. You're not going to hear the music because I have to remove it due to YouTube freaking out, and I apologize. But so there's all these. There are a lot, and they range up to, I believe, $5,000 is the top one, and that's the one I'm wearing. So, but the other thing, like unpolished thing again, you can't view these before you put it on. Like you can't see the back of it. You can't rotate it. You just have to buy it. Like this is the next thing, and then I click X, and he's bought it. But he doesn't change his, so you can see what it is. Now there's the exclusive one. I have like the white hacker, and then you can see that he switches it. But you have to buy these things before you actually get to see it, which is kind of annoying. So the game is definitely an 8 out of 10. The driving is kind of weird. If you can get used to games that have a little bit of weird driving, if I were to compare the driving to any game, I have to say, if you remember playing Midnight Club 3, I think it was, that's kind of how the driving is. It's weird, but you can get used to it, and you just know it's not spectacular. It's got a little bit of weird physics, and you can deal with it. So, I really want to thank everyone for watching. If you have any questions, I can definitely create a new video to answer those questions, or you can shoot me a PM or leave a comment. Now, one last thing I'll cover is the world map here. So you can press your touch screen, and there is no touch function in this game actually at all. The game doesn't even attempt to utilize the touchpad other than pushing the button. So it shows you where you are, and you can see all these contracts and things and stuff to do, and you can zoom in and out. And the map is big. I don't think I've been everywhere. I wouldn't say the map is ridiculously large, but it's definitely big enough to compare to Grand Theft Auto. I guess I couldn't straightly compare it to the latest GTA 5, maybe GTA 4 size. But it's definitely it's a big map. There's a lot to do, and everywhere's different. Like Grand Theft Auto, it felt like everywhere felt the same, kind of. Like things felt the same everywhere. You know, you came around to a corner, and that corner felt the same as a different corner. But here, legitimately, I don't know where I am. I feel lost in this city, which I'm not sure is good or bad, because it's really hard to learn where to go other than using the GPS. So you can use the GPS at any time, but I'll show you. Let's say I wanted to go to this. You can then just drive there, and the on-screen, as you can see on the mini-map, as well as this little blue line on the ground, is very helpful, and I think that was a great thing for them to add in, because it kind of does get annoying to have to keep looking at your mini-map, especially when mini-maps aren't always perfectly to scale, or it takes a little bit to figure out the scale. So you can lift bridges. Again, there's tons of things you can do, like this traffic light, let's cause an accident. Yeah, it's horrible. And what's even more horrible about it is I won't get any negative rep for that, and this person's gonna die. He probably won't get out of his car in time for it to explode, and he's gonna die. And I won't get any negative rep. The audio system in this game is one of those little unpolished things. The audio system I have adjusted severely. Sound effects, voice, music, it all needs to be worked because it is completely atrocious. It's just so bad. And there's a music and songs one, like they separated them. Autoplay the music in the car. There's a good amount of settings, but you really have to tweak them to get it to be perfect. And another issue I have is the controls. You have very limited changes to make on the controller. And there actually are, I can't get into them right now for some reason, but you can adjust. There's only 4 different defaults for the controls that you can use, but you have to be in the main menu to change it. And then the gameplay, you can actually increase and decrease the difficulty, and then the aim assist you can make strong or minimal. I just left everything at default, and then you can actually adjust your online issues as well, which friendly fire is a weird thing that you'd want to enable. Alright, so here you can see nighttime, and I want to cover the cover system a little bit more. I didn't fully cover that. So you move into cover by X, and you can move to cover by looking where you want to go and pressing X. Pretty interesting. Now, since I have a sniper up there, we can jump to the camera system and look around, make sure we know where people are. And certain people, for some reason, you can hack them to explode. Like their phone becomes a bomb or something. I don't know. It's a little bit weird. But you can attract people by holding square to, like, that was a, looked like a, what is that? A radio. So he got attracted by a little bit of a radio. And this game really is about stealth. And this is a gang hideout. I'm supposed to take down 2 targets, I believe it is. I have to figure out who it is by profiling him, though. And that's with your square. Like this guy, it says I can explode if I want. Which is a little crazy, but whatever. Now, I have this sniper up here, and I don't want him to alert the others. But I think I just alerted the others. Yep, so now everyone knows that I'm here. So I can fully use my environment to my advantage, if that makes sense. And he was trying to make a phone call for reinforcements, so those are people to take out immediately.
911, state your emergency, please.
Okay, so that's a person. They're going to call the cops. I don't so much mind the cops because the cops kind of fight your battles a little bit for you as well.
QS scan authorized. Initializing search for suspect now.
Get in cover.
Now, the aim system, even though it said you guys saw... Oh, shoot. That's a frag grenade. So even though it said, like, auto-aim, it's pretty minimal when you aim in. So I'm not sure what it's fully talking about, but whatever. Alright, so the game is a 8 out of 10 to me. It's definitely worth the buy. It's something different, and it definitely brings something to the table that we've never experienced before. But again, there's a lot of things that need to be polished, and the graphics aren't exactly what I would consider next gen. So again, the 8 out of 10 I believe is a very fair given for what they've given us. They've really given us something different with little unpolished parts, and it's just an 8 out of 10. I believe people, when they do, there are some horrible reviews, and I understand where they're coming from, but it's a playable game. We've seen some games that weren't exactly playable at release. Battlefield 4. But it's definitely worth the $60. I wouldn't spend more than that for the, collector pack or whatever. However, I would recommend the $20 season pass, which gives you a secondary campaign from a different character's perspective. So, thank you for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe. Helps me out a ton. Bratboy90 out.